Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is Tuesday, October 3rd. Day 2, well, day 1 after the budget, day 2 for the week, for a week where we are dealing with the issues of the government's foray into fiscal financial planning, some of which we're having a real issue with. Tonight, the internet feed is really stressing, so we're going to do our best to monitor and see how we can make this happen and get us through to the other side. We have a continuing issue to discuss, and the name of the video is the sting in the tail. The sting in the tail, and anybody who's following the budget must understand what that means. Today I met up with two, well, middle-aged, they used to be young, very successful young Syrian businessmen, family, and one of them was asking me about, you know, the show that we do and the party that we formed and all of this, you know, and how much it takes and why we would be doing this. And sometimes when people ask the question, to be quite honest, I can't even find the answer myself. When I look around at the state of our country, I can't find, sometimes I cannot find motivation. Me, honestly. Sometimes I can't find a purpose for this. Other times, I see an everyday person walking down the side of the road, usually a woman, young man, bags in hand, looking like they're coming from a hard day's work, trying to find their way home, walking down a highway, looking for a space to get a taxi. And I'm thinking to myself that our people, our everyday people, not the 1%, 99%, the everyday people that make up the middle of Trinidad and Tobago, all of we. And I look and I see and I think of all of the problems that all of these people have. I see little children and I think that if we can't make this country safe for little children to play, what's the point? If we can't make this country safe for the elderly to grow old with respect and dignity, what's the point? This country is so badly mismanaged and broken, and we say that to sound like a stuck record, and everybody's aware and everybody know now and everybody talking. People coming to me like, all right, Philip, we see, we hear, we know, we understand, and like we have some magic switch. We don't. There's no magic switch to switch. If you're looking for a magic switch to switch, wrong guy. Go for one of those other fly-by-night political parties who yet to call a political meeting anywhere. Go by them. They have magic. They have switches. They will march for you. They'll march you around in circles. All of y'all who talking violence and shut it down and worse. And then what? We still have to live in this mess. Our problems is that we shortcut everything. We are a nation of people. Somebody said to me tonight, and he reminded me, and it's no lie, this concept that some lives are more valuable than other lives is the problem, is behind every problem in the world. And in Trinidad and Tobago, that couldn't be more true. The idea that some people think that their children better than other people's children, if we didn't have that, if we were really and truly a good and decent loving people, if we really lived what we pretend to live in church, temple and mosque, this nation perfect. We espouse the highest platitudes when we sitting or kneeling or praying together. We sing, chant together. All of the high words, all of the high phrases. And then we come outside and we hustle to get out of the car park. Or we vex with somebody that we just see. We need to fix all of this. Listen, again, if you're looking for a shut it down, protest, line them up, wrong guy. Because I've been here before and I want no part of the mess. I want no part of the nonsense. If you're still on nonsense, ignore me. Don't find me. Don't come near me. Because I still going to tell you, you have a part to play. There is no magic switch. Trinidadians tell me, shut it down for a week. And then what? What happens after? What happens next week? You think you teach Colm a lesson? You shut the whole country down, Colm and the family, jump on the boat and go down the islands. You think you're teaching them a lesson? You're suffering yourself. I keep telling Trinidadians, the one who want to talk violence, or they want to burn it down, who you think living in the ashes? Who you think living in the ashes? If you mash it up, who you think have to line up for corned beef and toilet paper, while the same 1% that you think you're fighting have corned beef and toilet paper delivered to them? Who you think going to lose? It is time now to end all of the nonsense. It is time now to end this idea that you could quick fix this crap that we're in. Listen, when I bring up the issue about the pitch league, everybody's scrambling now to answer. And I'm waiting. They go find us way in the parliament, you know. Some big theft going on in the pitch league. Because I keep telling people, there is enough money coming out of that pitch league to mind this whole country. Where that money going? We need to know. We need to know. Where is the money from the pitch league? I don't hear about it in the budget. I don't read about it in the Auditor General's report. Who owns Trinidad and Tobago's pitch league? You want to march for something? Let's march Labre and reclaim our pitch league. And any government who represented the people that signed any document in secret, that document not worth the paper it written on, we'll rip it up and throw it away. We want to know who owns our pitch league. And I want to tell you something, you know. Put the Progressive Empowerment Party in office and we will renegotiate all our oil and all our gas contracts. Renegotiate all and transparently. You will know where, what, how, why and who. You'll know, and then you'll know what happened with that money. They talk about $1 billion for CPEP and URP. Those are two things that have a $1,000 per month cap. If you do the quickest arithmetic, you'll realize that what that means is CPEP and URP have 100,000 people working for them. Patrick Manning created CPEP. Eric Williams created URP. URP was to take black workers off of the farm to shut the Indian people down. They have so much race in the politics in this country, it's disgusting. GATE was created because they thought too much, dollar for dollar, they say too much Indian people was benefiting. Get them GATE so that everybody could benefit. And they see that it didn't make a difference, so they cancel GATE. This is the kind of nastiness that runs your politics, you know. Runs your politics. It's the kind of nastiness that was behind the decision to shut Caroni Limited down. Caroni Limited was shut down for race reasons, you know. Because Caroni Limited, when the dollars balanced at the end of the year, Caroni Limited made a $500 million loss. But CPEP and URP cost $1 billion raw. And they used to separate that and pretend. Caroni is Indian CPEP and URP. And right? Okay, fine. So why was one shut down and not the other? And I am not saying this to preach discord, you know. I want you to see what has passed as politics in this country. CPEP and URP is an insult. Is an insult to the people of this country. And the education system that forces people to remain in CPEP and URP is away. By my calculations, 100,000 people are in CPEP and URP. And then Colm said 150,000 people waiting for an HDC house. What kind of mad, mismanaged nation is this? The third wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere. And all our people so desperately poor that they're scrambling for a handout and a government house? How is it that we've never elected a government to office that knew, that understood that the secret to fixing Trinidad and Tobago was to go where the people are worst off, where they are the most dispossessed, the most disadvantaged, to go in there with all of the resources of state and turn it around. Nova, Beetham, Lavantel and Silots should have been turned around. We should have intervened. And stop giving me the bullshit about this one can't learn and that one can't learn and this one can't change and that one can't change. You learn and you change and your children learning. So miss me with that bullshit. Let us start to treat all our people in this country one way. Same way. Give everybody hope and opportunity. Because if we cannot do that, if we have expectations for some and no expectations for others, you're going to end up right where we are, with some of your people preying on the other. And you're sharing videos, and you're sharing hold-up videos, and man gets shoot in the face video, and all of that, and you're saying it like, yeah, look, revenge. That's not revenge. All of that, the hold-up is a symptom of the failure of Trinidad and Tobago. The fact that the man have to shoot him is another symptom. The fact that somebody could get arrested and take 17 years to prosecute, failure. That it have to work its way through a court system and take 25 years, failure. Listen, this country is broken. When we tell you, the Progressive Empowerment Party says, undo and redo. Please don't tell me the feed's sticking. I understand the feed is sticking. Make do, reboot, go on the YouTube feed, watch it later when it's there. Don't follow up the conversation with feed sticking talk, please. Flo and them know what they're doing. I reboot everything. Flo and them know what they're doing. Don't get distracted with feed sticking talk. And if any trolls come on the conversation, know at the end of the conversation they get removed and they get blocked. So just ignore them. And if you ignore them and you don't take them on, they have nothing to say. Let them say what they want and go. Let them say what they want and go. Ignore them. But come back to this. Come back to this because in 1986, Gypsy sang The Sinking Ship. And we whine our way into the NAR. And then the NAR, at the height of whatever they were trying to do, fell on egos. And Pandey and Robbie split. And Pandey went his way and formed Club 88 that became UNC. And NAR, well, NAR is a footnote now. But we've never used our opportunity, none of them. Not one. There's not been. I want to tell you something. I too, and I have to apologize to the nation, because I too congratulate, when I was younger and learning, growing up in the politics, when I see this one light up a play field or that one pave a road, I want to clap for them, I want to applaud, because I learned this concept that what we focus on grows, and if we give people positive attention, they'll be, but that is not what they're doing. I'm thinking that they're responding to me, but not responding to me. I'm happy that we're applauding them, but what they're doing is they're still thieving money. Because we've never gotten value for money in this country, and we've never, ever, 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 listen to me again, we've never, ever, 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 ever had a good government in Trinidad and Tobago. Never. If we ever had a good government in Trinidad and Tobago, ever, the judiciary and the courts couldn't be like that. The police service couldn't be like that. The education system couldn't be like that. The healthcare system couldn't be like that. And I want to tell you something about Caroni Limited. Caroni Limited wasn't to be shut down. Caroni Limited was to be repurposed to food production. But they didn't want that because they have a Hadco and a Amco and a Massey and a couple other importers that the less food you grow is the more money they make. So they want you to not grow food. But you have to understand, governments must not be beholden to financiers who are asking them to not grow food. Clarence Rambara, 2 years in, has grown nothing. He should be fired. You have a government who spent more money in this current country collapsing budget on national security than they did on agriculture and food production. And that tells you the level of jackass you have in the parliament. Make no mistake. When I tell you the devil is in the details, the sting is in the tail, you know what's coming? I watched Hema Ramkisoon post some bullshit on Facebook this morning. Some balls gargling nonsense. Like she looking for Rowley to pass and pat her on her head and say, okay, nice, well said, good and faithful servant, jackass that she is. I had to unfriend her on Facebook because I had to say, you know what? I do not tolerate assholes. And Hema Ramkisoon, you win the Crocus Bag of Ass Award today. for sitting down and applauding that budget without having two common sense in your head to understand the sting that coming in the tail that you're not thinking about. Every single austerity measure Colin Imbert announced yesterday in 2 weeks, passing on to every single one of you. The hospital ain't taking the extra charge. The bank ain't taking the extra charge. The manufacturers and distributors not taking the extra charge. All prices going up. Inflation going to spiral out of control. And to all of you who sitting down in your luxury and talking about the maxi taxi drivers shouldn't increase their price, miss me with your bullshit. Use drive a maxi taxi and risk hold up whole day. Hot sun and wet rain and nasty smelling school children at the end of the day. I talking plain. You dealing with that? You dealing with that? That you have money to pay for this van and a flat tire, you counting hours by the dollar? You know what maxi taxi drivers and taxi drivers has go through to keep this nation moving? Colin Imbert is a jackass, a royal jackass. He should be crowned. He should be crowned. They should build a statue to this jackass. Remember this. Build a statue of Colin Imbert. That's a jackass. Because he's grinning his ass all over the place. He went to the Chamber of Commerce today, like Marie Antoinette. All of them drinking, clinking, no problem. No problem. But you see, all you're doing is you're getting the wolves vexed. You're getting the wolves vexed because the normal everyday people who was going to try and tolerate and see and find a way to squeeze through, you're making life worse. You just made their lives worse and you didn't have to. There were a lot of things that we could have done in this budget yesterday that would have made life better. Trinidadians were ready to tighten their belt, you know. But you didn't tighten everybody's belt, you son of a bitch. You didn't tighten Ansa Makal belt and you didn't tighten Massey belt. And you pretend you tighten the bank's belt. That's not how you tighten the bank belt. You and the Bankers Association playing us for fools. Because that 35% passing on to the people. I want to tell you how you tighten the bank belt. You go into the bank and you tell them, no fees. All fees must be approved by central bank. And interest must be paid on depositors' accounts so that that money will work. You will put that money to work in the economy. Looking for interest yourself. Build an economy back on credit. That's what the United States of America just taught you at the end of the housing bubble collapse in 2008. That once you funnel credit into the economy, it will right-size itself. We are a consumption economy. We need credit. But you're playing the ass. You're playing the ass with people. And I'm telling Trinidad and Tobago, this budget is to serve up properties and businesses to Makal and Massey. That's what it's for. And you see the UNC supporters. You see the UNC supporters who come in on my wall to tell me Kamala and this. If Kamala was a good prime minister, healthcare couldn't be so no. A Couva hospital at 100 times the price. All they needed in Couva was a Burns unit for Point Lisas. Kamala thinks she bright. So she went and took advantage of that and built them a children's hospital. Because nobody can bad talk children. Well, I want to tell you that's bullshit. You could have built a children's wing in Mount Hope for 1% of that money. Wasting friggin' time. We could have taken that money that Kamala spent on Couva Hospital and rebuild Port of Spain and Mount Hope. But that wouldn't have put kickback in all of them bank accounts. Because you see that Chinese firm? That Chinese firm, that is all they specialize in, you know. Half the money for construction, half. Where they want it? Where they want it in the world? Where they want it? Liechtenstein, Panama, where you want yours? Aruba? That's what we get for development in this country. That's what passes. So you see the UNC and the supporters miss me with all the bullshit. All they just defending nonsense. All they defending total and complete nonsense. The country has never had a good government. The country has never been properly run, and we need to fix that. You cannot have an education system and say, no child left behind, but you're failing 99% of the children. It's best you had leave them behind. You're wasting 5 years of their life. Let them go and learn to plant cane or bat a ball. Let them go and learn to kick ball like York. You putting them for 5 years in a school system that grinding them out functionally literate after and vexed. Like a jail sentence. Half of them who going in what used to be former junior and senior secondary school. It's like a jail sentence. No wonder they're fighting and screwing each other all day. That whole system of education have to undo and redo completely. And we've separated the society. When you go to St. Mary's and Holy Name and St. Joseph, they have an overwhelming amount of pink-skinned people, like black people in this country, supposed to be stupid. We need to stop all of that. Fix the country. One people under one flag. As long as you continue to separate people by race and class, you're going to have commerce in the country. And we would not need to spend $8 billion on national security if we were putting the $4 billion that we spend on education to proper use. Trinidad and Tobago, we've been lying to ourselves, lying to each other, and lying to God every single night. God bless mommy, God bless daddy, God bless my prime minister, kiss my half-red ass. We've never had a prime minister in this country worth the salary they were paid. Keith Rowley is an absolute and complete jackass. They have nothing about that man I like, but Kamala, she was. Believe that? Believe that. And Patrick Manning. Patrick Manning was the devil in disguise. Patrick Manning and his whole clan, the devil in disguise. And he, if they have a God in heaven, he answering now. He answering. He answering for the one day in his unblemished record that he missed Parliament. Just happened to be the 27th of July 1990. Miss me with your bullshit, brother. But come back to this. You have to reject this budget. And if you cannot reject this budget, you have to fire this government. And you have to tell it to them just so. Donald Trump don't get to pee in peace. The media and the people have him under a microscope. They're burning his ass. And he have to answer every single day for every move he makes. And this country needs to wake the frig up. Because all of y'all on my news feed talking more about foreign people business than you're talking about your own. This is where the rubber meets the road. If the people of Trinidad and Tobago do not start to live like real people, you see all this commerce, all they're doing, all they want to get vexed and lose patience and get violent, do all that shit, it's all to suffer. The people who have means and money, they will leave. They will leave. And the development that you need to turn the country around and build a life for you and your children, gone with them. The reality of our situation is we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to face our responsibility and live up to it. Any country that you leave Trinidad and go to, at some point in their failing lives, their people got up and intervened and said, you know what, let's fix it. Iceland just fired their government. Iceland just jailed bankers. Be like Iceland. Be like Iceland. Finland scrapped the education system and did it over. Finland is now the #1 in the world. Be like Finland. Singapore has a port system that turns a profit. Singapore in one business, port business. Be like Singapore. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, all we know how to be are the little jackass models in the Angostura and the Caribbean, drunk and bent over. Because no matter what going on, no matter what going on, it's 2020 and drink serving, pack your ass in the Oval. Try party band launch tonight, pack your ass in the Savannah. Fools, like fools, we're waiting there to see. It's like pigs at feeding time. We dress up nice and we feel we're fooling people, you know. But we're like pigs at feeding time. Because nothing that you're posing and you're pretending for making a stick of difference in your life. All you're looking for is to pick up a boyfriend and a girlfriend for the night. And that is not worth throwing your country overboard for. We have to stand up. You want to know how to stand up? All of y'all who calling on me for protest, Philip, we with you tomorrow. Cancel Carnival 2018. You want to see? Cancel Carnival 2018. You want to make a difference in this country? Never buy a single fast food item until Christmas. Get them 3 months off. Done. No KFC, no Subway, no Burger King, no McDonald's, nothing. Shut all them doors. Let them come to you. That chamber of commerce that meet today to drink and clink, let them call an emergency session. The people vex. How to fix it? Call the negotiators and the people. I will walk in that room for you. And I will tell them, this shit have to done. Your banks have to work properly and your government have to work properly. And stop the nonsense about financing foolish parties and engaging in high-class theft and leaving the people to suffer. All that done. But we're not going to get there until you, each and every single one of you, think less about what I doing with my life and who I sleeping with and who I praying to, and think about what you doing with your time. Because this is where the rubber meets the road. Your labor, your consumption, and your vote is what has us where we are today. Because for all the talk you talk, for all the 1% talk you talk, and all the Forex talk you talk, and all the beat up you're beating your ass up all over the place, Starbucks packed tonight. Starbucks packed tonight. And Sunday evening after the beach, KFC, the line in the road. Because none of you know how to sacrifice. None of you know how to go and eat some dry toast bread and you say, know what? KFC, your mother ass, I go do for you. You will come back to me. Because if you knew how to stand together and stand against abuse, this country could never be like this. Parents supposed to say, what, this? My children in this as a school? Madness, pull all out. The Minister of Education have to answer. And if he doesn't answer, fire him. And if the Prime Minister doesn't fire him, fire the Prime Minister. When you start to think like that, the country will change. Not burn it down. Burn it down for what? Shut it down. Shut it down for what? Protests. Light we up, Philip, lead we. Not this nigga. That is not what we're here for. We're here to change this game, undo and redo. The PNM and the UNC could fix it, and you could force their hand. A muppet and a puppet need somebody to control it. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you are the puppet masters. You have given up your responsibility to Junior Sammy and Sapga and SIS and all these other jackasses who liken up themselves on your money. On your money. You're talking about 1%. You're building 1% every single day. Every single day. You don't know how to sacrifice. I remember talking to a gentleman who used to work Lebanese house. And I was in Lebanese house. My cousins and them, Camille and them, Saloom, own Lebanese house. I was a young man. I was talking to this guy. I'll never forget. He tell me, he said, I put my 2 children through school with a Pepsi bottle. I said, what? He showed me a Pepsi bottle. He said, for 30 years, I walked to the same shop with this Pepsi bottle and trade it in for a drink, to drink with my lunch that my wife packed for me. Put his children through school. Now one is a doctor and one is a lawyer and he only working still. That is all he know. That is what he know. But we not cut so. We is flammers and jammers. All the talk we talking, we jamming still, like we trying to screw each other up. But we doing it. It's like somebody said, I called somebody once and I said, boy, I'm stuck in traffic. He said, you're not stuck in traffic, you are traffic. And that's true. Me and every other car. We are the traffic. We are the jammers. It's we jamming still. It's we like it so. It's we flamming. It's we let the government get away. It is the UNC stupid jackass supporters waiting, twisting beads in the hand, waiting to put that Rumai back. To see if she could finish do what she didn't do the last time she was there. Yes, she is jackass of class in this nation, but I ain't gonna get big numbers on talks like these, but this is what we have to talk about. Because Coleman Burt is the tip of the spear. He's not the whole war. It starts and ends with you. Imagine if nobody in Trinidad and Tobago went into a Massey supermarket tomorrow. Nobody. Massey in trouble. Massey in trouble, because if Massey don't deposit tomorrow, the bank in trouble. Understand the game you're playing. It is your consumption that makes these businesses stand. That the bank need Massey and Massey need you. Understand. One set of memes about the budget today. And they've led you to the point where you feel so powerless. But my same Trini brothers and sisters in America for a year, they just reached the green card still, the ink still wet. And they know who's the counselor, who's the mayor, who's the governor, and they're damn sure who's supposed to be doing what when. And that bus that come late for my child for school, this is Trinis living foreign. And that's what I clap. Because we know how to do it when we're outside. We know how to do it when we're outside. Why, for Christ's sake, we can't do it here? Why? I, Philip Alexander, I don't wear brands. I own no jewelry. I dress how I want to dress. I don't have membership cards. No, I lie. I have a membership card, and it's a card that gets me a discount on clothes. But when I buy clothes, they give me the card. So, you know what? If they give me the discount, no problem. But the truth of the matter is, how you see me, that is me. See this? Starlight Drugs. $45. About 9. The same thing in optician today is $1,500. You now know Philip wearing a $45 glasses. And I want you to understand, if it wasn't for my son, my phone screen still cracked. Cracked for a year and I would have used it so. I'm telling you today that all the people you posing for, all the people that you spending your hard-earned money to pretend for, they don't care about you. When you fall off the map, when you get a diagnosis, when you get caught in the accident, when you get yourself in trouble financially, none of those people there. Not one. Yes, Lisa Francis, I have a gym membership, but that's a different thing. That's a different thing. You have to understand the role and responsibility you have to your life, to your country. Now, I want to tell you, all them cheap things I tell you, and all the things, so people want to ask me how you own this and how you own that. This nigga know how to sacrifice. My fridge is be empty half the time. I know how to sacrifice. The cashiers in the drugstores is like after when I come in there, they have a specials shelf. 2 for 1 or half off. I shop in there. I shop in there. And man to man, I telling you, you can't give me talk about me. I make you cry. You with your brands. You with your foolish, insecure, ego-supporting brands. I make you cry. I know me, my brand strong. And I need for you to see that you so too. Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger was the first brand that was sold to the first, there was this Jewish guy that went to these companies and told them, I could get poor black people to work hard to buy your high-end products. When you're seeing all of these rap artists singing about Tommy Hilfiger, Hennessy and Mercedes-Benz and Crystal Champagne and all this nonsense. And it have poor, stupid black people scrubbing floor, waiting to buy I Like Mike's. I Like Mike's. And then they take a picture of Michael Jordan walking down the road in a $99 shoe from Payless. How you feel to know that the people that you following not doing what you're doing? How you feel to know that? No one's opinion of you has any power over you if you don't let it. And this is why we say to you, rebuild the community. Once we rebuild the community, and let me tell you something, a nation is a collection of communities. Once we rebuild the community, once everybody from somewhere, you see, we live like transient people now. We're born in Woodbrook, we grew up in Chaguanas, we live for a while in San Fernando, now we're in Digo or in Arima. We have no roots. Any breeze pass blowing me away. You go to Barcelona, there's a market in Barcelona, they sell you goods in that market. You could have a problem after you finish eating the whole thing, they give you a refund. Because they will tell you, this stall that I run in here, my father ran this stall and my father ran this stall. And I have to live up to their reputation. Jesus Christ, man. When could we ever get to that in Trinidad and Tobago? When could we ever get to a place in this country where we respect ourselves and each other? I shared a video today about Japan. Man saying in Japan, you could leave your phone and your laptop on a table in a coffee shop you've never been to before and go to the bathroom and nobody dare touch it. The bicycles all park up outside, leaning on one another, not one have a lock. Scooters, motorbikes, key in the thing. People walking down an escalator, they know to stay on the left because anybody need to pass, they pass on the right. And it is an innate understanding that everybody's well-being is everybody's interest. So if I check in for your well-being and you check in for my well-being, we both good. We both good. How do we get Trinidad today? How do we get us to a place where Colm Inwood could have never end up in the parliament? And Rudal Munilal and Surud Rambachan and Kamla Prasad Bisesa could never be considered as a political option again. How do we get there? How do we get to there? To people who respect themselves so much to say, you know what? You know what? I demand better. I want real representation in my constituency. I live in Diego Martin West, and we are the worst represented constituency in the whole country. You know who's the member of parliament for Diego Martin West? Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabgarauli. That jackass that has done nothing for the people who has fed him and his family for 31 years. I designed and had built the Diego Martin bypass by 4 roads that has taken hours off everybody's day, everybody who live in Diego Martin. I did that for free. And that now exists. And people who used to spend 3 and 4 hours a day trying to come home to Diego Martin, just reach home, whoosh, and you don't remember. Every time you hear whoosh and you reach home, you must say, God bless Philip Edward Alexander. Because it is I who do that. In fact, to the point where people living in Diego Martin for a while, when the construction was going on, if something was wrong, they'd call me, they'd message me. Business people used to call me and tell me, Philip, the traffic light timing off. Like I working for the government and get it fixed. Keith Christopher Rowley's track record is worse. I get water for the people in Rich Plain. That jackass bring the council and he and she try to sue Wassa for responding to me and giving them water. My sweet Father, Lord Jesus. When you walk, because I've walked Diego Martin West, from Bagatelle to Chagaramas, and I've walked it, you could tell when in the poor black communities, the conditions of the pavements and the roads and how the government leaves it. You turn inside the community, you think you could turn in Goodwood Park and it look like how you leave La Puerta, or how you leave Rich Plain, or how you leave Covey. You think? No, not at all. And why is that so? Why is that so? That is so because you allow it to be so. Because the people of Rich Plain and La Puerta supposed to be less than the people of Goodwood Park. That the children of the people of Westmoreland are better human beings than the children of the people of Factory Road, Mason, Covey, Abbey Pujad, Lansmitan, Big Yard. And the day we understand, because again, you all know your constituencies, I know mine. Bagatelle and River Estate are not treated with the respect that they deserve. Those are stakeholders and shareholders in the country, just as much as Shorelands and Bayshore is. Victoria Gardens and Goodwood Gardens would sleep better at night. Victoria Gardens and Goodwood Gardens would sleep better at night with their door open if Sanganga didn't have to suffer. If Union Road wasn't living in squalor. If Cocorit, Big Yard, Hard in Place, if they wasn't living like gutter trash, the people of Westmoreland wouldn't need wrought iron. And St. Finbar's Church wouldn't have electric fence around it. Our reality is that we do not understand that we are a collective. Whether we like it or not, black, white, brown, green, and every shade in between, that's the country. That's the country. And you would be them if you had their life to live. So stop pretending that you have some special gene that keep you from choosing wrong. In fact, some of you, the wrong you do is so much worse than their survival wrong. Your wrong just stink and dirty. Your wrong just greed and ego to shine your shoes and drive a bigger car every year. Yeah? Our truth not going to change until we change our truth. Our truth is not going to change until we change what we know to be our truth. The Progressive Empowerment Party is discussing going outside the Parliament on Friday to say, we say no. This is not a protest. It is a message. It is not a fight or a bacchanal. It is a message. It is to send a message to the government and the opposition that we are unhappy with the status quo and business as usual, and we would like it to change. And we're not happy. We're not happy. We're not happy with the budget. And we say no. Yeah? Did you share the video? Did you share it on your page and in every group and page that you are a member of? Share it and tell all your friends, come and hear it and share it too. Because we need to have these kind of conversations if we're going to turn the fortunes of this nation around. It's not going to end in shortcut. Get busy. Share the video. This Thursday evening, in place of the live, not tomorrow, Thursday. This Thursday evening, in place of the live, we will be having the first of a series of pep talks that are panel discussions. This week, the issue is going to be the budget. It will always be a panel of at least 4 persons. In this space where this live is, it's going to be that panel show on a Thursday. Next week, Thursday, we're talking national security. Thursday following, we're talking women and gender issues. Trinidad and Tobago needs to get back to a place where you can feel you are represented just by the provision of knowledge. What we're going to discuss on Thursday, we have a representative from Tobago and 2 panelists besides myself who are well versed in the national conversation to come to you and have a discussion about what was done, what should have been done yesterday in the Parliament. Our truth cannot change until we change our truth. We want to go outside of the Parliament on Friday. Somebody sent me a message to remind me that the Muslim community, they do something between 12 and 1:30. In fact, I want to read that now. And just to make sure, because I want the management of, okay, so Muslim people go masjid between 12:30 and 1:30. So we will take it into account. Now I know that the budget, the debate starts at 9:30 on Friday morning. And we may just as well go down there for 9 o'clock. So if you're willing to put yourself out and a little bit of inconvenience, come and say no. Make a sign that says no. Because I want you to understand this. Every single one of those measures that Colm Imbert put in that budget is going to damage this country more and more and more. It is going to spiral. It is going to spiral inflation. What he did just with the diesel. You see, I'm not saying don't remove the subsidy, you know, but the economy is out of balance. You cannot have minimum wage people who barely hold it on, fighting up to afford food now. You cannot have all of the concomitant increases that are going to come with the staples and the everyday things that they need for their family. You can't do that at one time. You're going to throw people down. That's what this budget is going to do. I fear that this budget is going to throw people down. Plenty people. So by tomorrow, when I speak with Felicia and the rest of the team, and they let me know what we can do, we will come to you with information about Friday's gathering at the Parliament. If you have orange, get it out. If you have red, white, and black, get it out. If you have a flag, get it out. Our policy, you know our slogan, one people under one flag. We hope to attract red, black, white, green, every color in between. We want to accommodate every religion. Listen, we say this all the time. We don't care who you're sleeping with and who you're praying to. That is not our business. The Progressive Empowerment Party wants to right-size this country. You could vote anybody into office after that. Because I'm telling you, after that, a monkey could sail the ship. It's just a matter of fixing it properly. Trinidad is set up to fail. Trinidad right now is set up to the benefit of a select few who, no matter who in office, win. We need the people of Trinidad and Tobago to win. It is time the people of Trinidad and Tobago had a victory. A real victory. I want to tell you something. It's not going to be easy. The sycophants that getting paid to talk. You see all the Rhoda Barretts and the Inchan Ishmaels. They're not doing this for free, you know. They're not leading you astray for free, you know. They're getting paid for that. Rhoda get a position in a university in the West Indies and bring the whole university ranking down. Imagine that. Then the next one, something Henry, all over Facebook, cussing people. And I said, this is a university. You're not professors in a university. This is how you carry yourselves. The truth of the matter is, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have allowed all of this to go on for far too long. For far too long. We are the people to make the change. If not us, who? If not us, who? You ever hear the song?
When I look around, I see footprints that man have left on the sand while walking through times. I see fruits of our ambition, figments of our imagination, and I ask myself, when will it end? When will it end? It is plain to see, universally this land is not bountiful as it was. Simply because in this quest for success, nothing stands in man's way. All rivers run dry. Soon the birds won't fly. The mountains will be no longer high. And when I really think of it, yes, I just wonder why. Why? I see charity deployed, equal rights totally ignored, wisdom and ingenuity working in accord, simply to afford such inventions as thermonuclear warfare and environmental warfare. And I wonder now, where do we go from here? Traffic's everywhere. Gaze upon the horizon, and declare that judgment will come. As the savage hands of unscrupulous men defile everything pass by.
Time is running out.
As we eat and drink species at the brink of being extinct, yeah. And I think no one can deny that the price of progress is high.
Not just the price of progress, the price of criminal corruption. This is a nation. I said to you last night, your minister, now not one media, not the Chamber of Commerce, all of these fly-by-night, play-the-ass poser organizations, not one of them has called Colm Imbert to task. Colm Imbert, you said that Kamala and Rudal and the UNC stole billions of dollars. You said you have evidence that they stole $500,000 per house. You said that to the nation. It is in the Hansard. It is part of the national record. You accused the last government of being thieves, stealing billions of dollars. And you said you had evidence. Why, Colm Imbert, haven't you taken that evidence to the Commissioner of Police, the Fraud Squad, and the Director of Public Prosecutions? And if you don't, Colm Imbert, you need to be dragged before the Privileges Committee and thrown out of the Parliament for bringing it into odium and disrepute with your lies. But which is it? It is either he told the truth or he lied. How do we get our government? How do we get our country? How do we get our systems to work when a Minister of Finance could say the last government stole $500,000 a house through an HTC housing scheme? Billions of dollars, to which he has evidence. How can he say that and no action be taken? How could Kamala fire Herbert Volney for misbehaving in public office? Kamala fired Herbert Volney and removed him from the Parliament for misbehaving in public office. He apologized, he acknowledged, he accepted. Now he's saying she lied, but I don't care which one of them lied. What I want to know is, where is the Commissioner of Police? Where is the Director of Public Prosecutions? Because a firing from the Parliament is not the recommended consequence by law. The recommended consequence by law is investigation and prosecution. Misbehaving in public office is a serious thing. What Herbert Volney did with Section 34, if it is true, what she said and he apologized for, he conspired to pervert the course of justice. The same crime you arrest Anna and Ram Logan for. How come you arrest Volney? How come you have a different rule for one than you have for another? How come? How come when the UNC was in power and a little girl named Granny Killer talked one set of nasty murdering stuff about Kamala, and Ambry Brown jump out his skin to run and protect her and defend her so Kamala could forgive her? But Kid Rowley, when our next boy make a same stupid statement on Facebook, he's even less. They put him in jail for 5 days. This is not how a country is supposed to run. This is not how it's supposed to run. And it is time we faced up to that fact and confronted and resolved it. It is time we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, stood together, one people under one flag. It is time we joined hands, locked arms, stood together against the corruption and the criminal conspiracy of the bandit clan that has reduced this country to the suffering squalor that it is. A handful of criminals getting away with murder in this country. It is time, Trinidad and Tobago, to put aside the distraction, the posing, the nonsense, and rescue this nation.
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can protect our country's faith. But use it well
before it's too late.
If it is that who you're voting, fairly or not out.
When you're voting,
Vote them out.
vote them out.
If it is the proven to be your thing, put them out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about.
Just as how you vote them in,
Vote them out. Register and vote
All 41. Fire all. Get out. We want an election. Stand up. Let's put our country together again. Terminate the reign. The Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the supreme law, provides a remedy when the government is failing, that we call for an election. The government doesn't own the parliament. The government doesn't own the election. We do. We get to tell them, you are not delivering as promised. You have failed in office. We want you out. We want an election, the remedy provided by the Constitution to effect it. Tell Keith Rowley, call an election now.
If for 30 years you voting them in, and there's only chance as soon as they win, they give you big words
And enslave his soul.
promising you roads and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout,
When you're voting,
if it is the passing laws that them alone can block, when you're voting, vote them out. If it is the building ISAs,
east, west, north, and south.
the same way you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Rescue the country, vote them out. Vote them out with tempo. They happy in pain.
Let's put our country together again.
Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
Call the election, Keith Rowley. Call the election so our people could stand in joyous refrain, chipping into that voting booth to vote your ass into history. Call the election. The clock is ticking. Time is running out. Sand's running through the hourglass. We reject you. We reject this budget. We reject the nonsense of the Dapper Dwen from Maraval. We want nothing to do with none of you. We are fed up and tired of the nonsense, the circus and the stunting, passing for government in this country. We want an election. Call it now.
If their policy is a policy, bureaucracy,
A catastrophe.
if they cannot vote,
And you see it so, then your only hope is for them to go.
if it is fabrication, these statements that they spout,
Emailgate.
when you're voting,
What was the outcome of Emailgate? That will be in the DPP's office for 1,000,000 years, ain't? Who was wrong?
shout. When you're
Listen.
before they misuse out, G-Bugs sell out and digs out. If it you vote them in, vote them out. Register and
Giselle De Silva here on this wall. This is the option. The Orange Army, the Orange Revolution. Stand up, stand for your country. All this work we doing every night, I see you on the thread. What you mean by which are the option? We are the option. You are the option. This Saturday at noon, we in Stanmore Avenue. Friday, we in front of the Parliament. Thursday, we having a live panel discussion. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the change we've been waiting for. Stand up with us. Stand together. Ignore the detractors. Ignore the foolish talkers. Listen, I'm seeing every day new parties forming by the minute, and I applaud them. But I tell them, don't be a one-man show. Come outside, build out. We have a huge following, a massive membership. Come and see our executive and team leaders. Come and get to know who is behind this party and what we're doing. Plans, programs, policies, ideas to change the nation. So much so that your Minister of Finance thief ideas yesterday for his budget.
people must come first. Citizens by right.
None of we here worse. Yellow, black or white.
Food, shelter and clothes.
Free movement and speech. A garden that grows. And one law for each.
If it is that injustice is what they always show.
when you're voting, it's just a puppy show. When election day come, all bandit must go. Vote them out. Tell Kamala, I say, defend your track record. Defend your legislative agenda. What did you do for the country? Tell Kid Rowley, defend it. Bring all the Manningites. Defend that foolishness. What you all did with the billions of dollars you all had. What did you do for the people? Made jackasses of all of us. Wasted our friggin' time. It's time for all bandits to go. PNM and UNC, as they say, red crapo, yellow crapo, same handful of salt. Trinidad and Tobago have to face the reality and face the music and stand together. We cannot continue this way. We will end up in a crisis. We will end up in a worse crisis. The country's in a crisis now. We are awash in murder and criminal conspiracy, crime and corruption. Everywhere you turn, the people are angry and frustrated. We have too many hungry people in this country. This is unfair, unjust, and not right. We must be the intervention. We must be the change. We must put ourselves in the position right now to stand together and say, none of this can continue. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we say so. Yes? So, all of us, we will be Thursday at 11 o'clock, 104.7. I'm on with Robert Amar. We're discussing the budget. Thursday night, we're with the panel. The panel is going to include Ken Bescom, Janice Lemon Cricky, Suzette Lower, and myself. We're going to be discussing the budget. Friday, we will give you the time for the gathering. It may well be 9:30 in the morning. Because if it is going to make an impact, we have to come out and say no. Before you debate no, that the people say no. We will tell you by tomorrow so you could call everybody out. And let's see what kind of numbers we could get. Because the message we send must be a loud, strong message. We don't want to pay people to come. We want you to come out and stand in defense of your country. One people under one flag. Join the Orange Army. Join the Orange Revolution. Add your name to the growing ranks of civic-minded citizens that's standing in defense of this country. peptrindago@gmail.com. Send them an email now with your name, your constituency, your phone number, and your email address. And say, I want to join. I want to serve. Come on board. There is a website, peptt.com. There is a PEP app, PEP, available at all the app stores, free of charge. Download it. Yes? So, until tomorrow, Trinidad and Tobago, stay safe.